Alright, so my other video, this kind of ties in with what Lindsey Williams has been saying. Sometime around the end of 2012, they, the elitists, want the US dollar to be dead. Not non-existent, but very, very much worthless. Very hard for people to survive using it. Other countries to completely demand to not use it anymore over there, etc. So I read this a little bit, said, this makes sense. Now remember, old Bob Chapman, he's no idiot. The guy is smart. And again, he's the same guy that said he thinks JP Morgan is mostly out of their short position in silver. Again, I kind of feel like I'm the only guy standing in the face of Bob Chapman. As much as I like him and I agree with what he talks about, I feel like I know these, bankers a little too well now, and that they're not done crashing down the market because they're not going to want to pay $30 even for silver, and they sure as hell don't want to pay $1,600 or $1,700 for gold. They want to destroy stuff. That's what they do before they scoop it all up. That's what they always do. So it almost seems like there has to be. And even if JP Morgan's out of its positions, maybe some other group or God knows what is going to have this thing go down, push the price down. I don't know. But aside from that, a new dollar is underway, reports Bob Chapman of the International Forecaster. Banking professionals of middle-sized banks apparently leaked to Chapman that the Fed told the banks to clear safe storage as they are getting ready to print a new currency. Chapman told his readers that the presses are being oiled to roll out the new dollar. It looks like a cheap euro because the Fed expects the US dollar will no longer be the reserve currency in another 18 months. That's pretty much in alignment with Lindsey Williams' timeline, roughly. Key finance experts from around the globe are putting in their 2 cents, which is what the new dollar will ultimately be worth, warning Americans to prepare for a third world economy. This, too, is what Lindsey Williams said would take place. Now, if we back that new currency by gold, well, may not be quite as bad, but at the same time, how much gold do we have to back that currency? And if we don't have that much gold, then the currency itself is not going to be valued too great. And the rest of the world, sure as hell, isn't going to say, hey, let's do that thing we did for the last 40 years and let's use your new paper money backed by garbage, nothing, to sell oil and other things. Yeah, right. Beginning with the pros at the Silver Doctors, a question was posed that if the new dollar is true, then Bix Weir's Road to Ruta story of a gold standard is dead wrong. That the Fed has put out the info Bix used as a decoy. I'm not going to say that I'm going to agree with that, only because Lindsey Williams said whatever currency or currencies come out, whether if they can push the New World currency or a North American currency or strictly a U.S. currency, whatever it is, it will be backed by gold. So I don't think the Road to Ruta, Bill Wick's theory will be wrong. Ted Butler answered, it depends on whether the new dollar is a devalued fiat dollar backed by nothing or is backed by gold. The Fed would not divulge this beforehand because the sheeple would dump their dollars for hard assets like gold and silver to avoid the devaluation, which is the entire purpose of the new dollar. Now, there's no way you're going to get a population who just got their 401ks, their life savings, IRAs, you name it, retirement destroyed, housing values utterly destroyed, will just stand up and say, let's get rid of this paper currency over here for a new currency over here. If they're both fiat currencies, the US dollar and the new currency, let's say, which is a US currency, why would they get rid of the first currency anyways? All you would have to do is revalue your money, although, since the whole world is sitting on US dollars, I don't think they could revalue those because there's so many out there. The entire world's currency doesn't even compare combined to what the U.S. dollars are that are out there. So they would have to get rid of the U.S. dollar completely, use it as freaking fire starting paper, whatever, tinder, and come out with the new currency that none of those other countries will have, unless they trade in the old dollars for the new dollars. But again, the chances of that are pretty fat chance, because they're going to be destroyed by the old American dollar for holding on to that turd for so long. They're not going to want anything to do with us, as Lindsey Williams said. Bix Weir, focusing on a coming new $100 bill, and it's not Chapman's $1 bill that they showed, which is this euro-looking thing, has a different opinion. All the gold symbolism of a coming $100 bill indicates that there is a group of people working to end the fiat money system and return the U.S. back to the gold/silver standard. Now, what is this? Yeah, there's an interesting thing. I'll go ahead and read this. He even quotes Benjamin Fulford. Now, keep in mind, I've never really mentioned Benjamin Fulford, maybe a couple times. I found Benjamin Fulford long ago, several years ago, before anyone probably knew about him. And I actually saw him, which he was saying back then, we're tired of the wars, we're giving the Rockefellers and the elitists an ultimatum. If they kill another person, they invade another country, another military strike anywhere, we're going to send in these group of, white dragon ninjas. We number in the 100,000, and we will start taking them out. There's been plenty of started wars since then, and they've killed quite a few people since then, and there were no ninjas. So this guy, I had to write him off as somewhat of a lunatic. However, I saw another video where he had the elder Rockefeller who came to visit Japan. He was able to get him, and this big bodyguard of his, of course, with him, into a little hotel room where he interviewed him. Benjamin Fulford, on camera, videotaping it all, his interview with eldest Rockefeller. Rockefeller actually gave him the time. He was able to find him and come into his hotel room. When I saw that, I said, this guy must have some power. Maybe he is, a member of the White Dragon, whatever society, and, ooh, I gave him some big credit for that. But ever since then, that was a few years ago, too. Ever since then, everything he's been talking about, coming, this new society, this new stuff, the good guys, and it's not there. It hasn't been there. Everything he talks about, it's almost like he gets his information from whatdoesitmean.com, Sorcha Fall, which is epic failure, epic, complete disinfo agent, and he has even quoted some of her stuff. So at this point, I have to write off Benjamin Fulford completely. But I'll go ahead and read you since it's on this site. Geopolitical analyst Benjamin Fulford also champions the, quote, good guys theory, telling his readers that the white hats of the Pentagon and the 59-nation group called the Red Dragon Society would soon pull us out of the global financial matrix of impending destruction. Hold on. I got to call Ben Fulford. Yellow Ben, listen. You familiar with Lindsey Williams? No? How about the WebBot report? You familiar with that? You've heard of it, but that's all? Okay. Listen. There's been stuff in the WebBot report that's been in there for years, and it keeps coming up over and over and over and over again. And when that's that kind of stuff that's in the report that comes up over and over and over and over again, it pretty much guarantees with 100% certainty it's going to happen. Sooner or later, it's going to happen. And there's nothing in here about any good guys coming to save the day or any kind of fixing of the system, taking us out of the old finance. There's nothing in there. Doesn't quite fit anything in the WebBot report, as a matter of fact. Listen, I want you to go study that. I'm going to send you an email with the attachment. Take a look in there, see if anything catches your eye. Okay, take care, buddy. Now, let's look at the good guy group. And this is who Bix Weir even cites as the good guys. Alan Greenspan. Okay. Former Federal Reserve. Paul Volcker. Former Federal Reserve. Michael Mukasey, whatever, former Attorney General. Senator Dianne Feinstein, Einstein, whatever you call her. Oh my God. Israeli U.S. dual citizen Feinstein. Barney Frank. No. That bastard's retiring, isn't he? Just heard that today. Warren Buffett. Stephen Duval, I don't know who that is, former federal Boston economist. Harold J. Sullivan, author of Civil Rights and Liberties. And presidential candidate Ron Paul. I'll agree on that last one. Lots of Jews here, which makes yours truly a bit skeptical. Greenspan sold out to the Rothschilds years ago, dumping his enthusiasm for Ayn Rand, born Alice Rosenbaum, a Jew, and her gold-backed brand of libertarianism. Mukasey, a Talmudic Jew, is of course loyal to the tribe. And in Feinstein and Frank's case, both depend on Jewish money and Jewish-owned mainstream media backing for continuation of their political careers. Which again, Barney Frank is leaving. He's stepping down, or not running again anyways. So I am also a little skeptical on this. The quote good guys. I don't think there are any good guys in the system trying to work things out. The only good guy I could even think of is Ron Paul. That's it. And you know the Republican establishment in Congress will not give him the nod to represent the party. Therefore, he cannot join the presidential race as the Republican nominee. It's not going to happen. You're going to see Newt Gingrich and some other bozos up there. So, anyways, I needed to read that to you just because maybe there's this new currency coming, which we know there is. However, it has to be backed by gold. It's going to be backed by gold. You cannot take paper fiat currency, destroy everyone's livelihoods, take you out of first world status, and start taking you towards third world status in a country, and then on top of that tell them, don't worry, we've got a new currency. All your life savings still wiped out, your 401k is still wiped out, your house values are also still destroyed, but there's a new currency, and we get to start over. Oh, so we're wiping out all of our debt. No, you still got to pay on that debt. We're going to convert it over to the new dollar somehow. But you get to have this new dollar. Well, our old one was backed by nothing. It got destroyed. So what is this one backed by? Oh, nothing. There's no way that would be. It would not happen. Cannot. The central bankers know this. That's why they have this little cycle. And at the end of the little paper fiat cycle, they go back to a gold-backed standard currency. This is the prime time. I couldn't pick a better time to be alive than right now to capitalize on this transition, which is out of my control. It's out of your control. There's no need to get pissed off and upset about it. You can capitalize on it too. Those people who can't grasp change, just like nature shows, will perish. If you cannot grasp and deal with change, you are doomed. I am grasping this like a bear hug. So, buy silver, continue buying silver, and as this thing collapses, no matter what, if silver does this the whole time, don't get bothered with where you were in at, up here, down here, middle, I got some down here, I got some up, doesn't matter, you continue buying. Stocks, your retirement. Oh, how long have you had your 401k? Oh, I've had it for about 10 years now. How much you got in there? I don't know, probably $30,000. Oh, okay. Can we look at the stats of your 401k? Sure, give me all that paperwork. Let me build a chart for you. Do you think his chart is going to do this for the last 10 years? Or is if you look at each individual month, year, few months, you zoom in, you're going to just see this? No, you're going to see this. All over the place. Now, the general movement, normally speaking, could be definitely up until the big crash happens here shortly. But the general movement from 10 years ago, let's say, and again, if you look at numbers of the stock market, it hasn't moved anywhere in 10 years. But under the normal way the market's supposed to work prior to all this, you would see just an average 10% move. Good. 10 years, okay, great. But if you zoom in, you're going to see this. And people think that you're not allowed to buy silver when it's on a little bit of a peak and then it goes back down, as if everyone knows when the silver bottom is, and everybody should then and only then buy silver at the very bottom. Every dip down, buy it. It's impossible. You have to treat it the same way you would treat anything you are investing for your retirement in, which is basically some kind of stock, right? IRA, whatever it is, you want some kind of interest, but these stocks go up and down, but you hope over the next 10, 15, 20, 30 years of your life, overall it would go up because that's what always happens. Until now. So, keep buying as the silver does this, because you will see, as the last 10 years have shown, opposite of the stock market, where the stock market hasn't done anything and the US dollar has actually done this, gold and silver have done this, looking out through the years. And it will continue. And of course, it does this as it goes up. So don't get caught up. Oh, I was in at 35. I was in at 45. I was in at 10, 15, 20, 20. I've been in all over the place. From $10 to 15 to 18 to 16 to 20, 22, 25, 34, 35, 42, which I had to pay several dollars over spot. So I was in at like 47, I think. As a matter of fact, I even had a small purchase. It was like $51 total, which shipping and the $4 or $5 over spot price, of course. Do I look upset by that? No. So, keep buying silver, no matter what. As I said, I'm very close to I'm going to put that money back in the bank tomorrow, just in case, so that at any time I can click on buy now, right now, boom, lock me in the price, place the order. It'll immediately be deducted out of my account online, or I could do a wire transfer if I had to, because you do get better prices a lot of times when you do wire transfers to places like Gainesville Coins. And lately, the Gainesville Coins have had some pretty damn good prices, I gotta say. Been pretty impressed with their fees. So, remember, recap of what JSnip4 said earlier. I'm waiting this week and next week to see where silver's at. I just need to see this. And at any given moment, I could pull the trigger. I'm feeling that there's going to be more downward pressure. I just feel it. Doesn't mean I'm going to be right. But again, these elite never buy at the top. They don't buy at the middle. They don't even buy low. They buy devastating low. Then they let it go back up because now it's in their hands, or whatever they wanted is in their hands, the amount that they wanted. Now they'll ride that train all the way to the top and reap massive rewards, profits from that. You and I can do the same thing if we just sit on their little coattails and try to do what we do. But at the same time, we don't want to get caught in the middle of them scooping up a bunch and then we can't get any and say, damn it, good idea, but now I can't get any. And the stores won't even allow me, such as APMEX, Gainesville Coins, all these other ones won't even allow you to place an order because they don't know when their shipment's coming in. So we have to wait 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks before we can place the order. What? What's the price going to be in that time frame? Who knows? It'll be up, of course. So that's why I would just say continue, have a little like weekly or monthly allowance kind of thing. And if you can also have like, you know, the old credit card in the background kind of thing where you recognize if I see silver getting smashed to like 15 or below, I'm maxing the card out immediately. That would be cool. And then you just use your weekly or bi-weekly or monthly. Every so often I'll buy 2, 3, 4 coins a month or whatever your particular budget allows for. That's all I want to say. I've got another video I need to do. And you're going to like this one.